So this chapter of One Piece, I guess it was straightforward as they come and as simple as they get. Not to say it wasn't a good chapter. I guess it was an okay chapter, but it's more or less just a standard setup chapter for the wedding. The final setup, because as of next chapter is pretty much the wedding. Notice how I'm saying next chapter because next week we're on hiatus, so we've got 2 weeks to wait until the wedding. So that's that. So let's start with the cover page. We see that Nakamushi's on the cover, and I'm pretty sure we'll see Nakamushi soon enough because he's leading the charge to find Marco. So I assume we're gonna see that before Wano. So that being said, this chapter was all about the hints that Oda left for the assassination plan of Capone's to tell us, "Oh, we know you know about this plan, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go smoothly." Which I can honestly say, I think we all knew this plan was going to go to hell anyway. But this chapter, you got certain hints and pieces that, certain bits and pieces. For the most part, we start off with Capone and Vito, and Vito's getting all over excited because the economic times. Was it Morgan? You know, the big bird for Sesame Street. He's talking with Judge apparently, which is not all that surprising because we learned in the previous chapter that the Vince Smokes had a connection with the economic times, because I'm assuming it has something to do with the comic strip that Vito was talking about before the start began, and that's why Vito may be so infatuated with it. But there's that, and the other thing too is like, and Capone just being sarcastic says, of course they're going to talk because they have mouths, but there's like certain bits about failing, and we see Capone say to Caesar, "Come on out, Caesar," and we find out that Caesar's been hiding out inside Capone, as has the rest of the Straw Hats, because we see the Straw Hats sleeping. At first I'm like, they're not taking this seriously at all, but then I heard Jinbei, and it made perfect sense, because Jinbei's like, let them sleep because they haven't rested since they got here, which is true because they've been running around going non-stop, especially Luffy. So the more that it's not going to do them all good. I mean, I know they don't stand a chance against Big Mom, but it's not going to do them any better if they're all worn out. So Nami needs to get her strength too, because I still think she's going to have a one-on-one fight. I'll get into that by the end of the video, but Luffy especially is like, so yeah, that makes perfect sense. And Jinbei just says, "I'll wake him up 10 minutes before the plan," and then we got the whole gift exchange. As someone that noticed points out that Big Mom has a national treasure box and Tomate Boko box. I believe it's Stussy that points that out. Big Mom's like, yeah. I don't know why Neptune gave it away for free, but I got the national treasure box. I can't always see what's inside it. Really? You don't know why he gave it away? Well, you're about to find out. And that's another thing too. It's like Capone was like telling Caesar, wait for Big Mom to scream, and then let's make our move. And I get the feeling when Big Mom opens that National Treasure Box, man, she's going to scream alright, because that thing's going to explode and she's going to be pissed beyond belief. And that may work against the Straw Hats, not for him. Which is ironic, but considering that was the plan from the get-go. So there's that to take into consideration. The whole thing about the lineup of the Charlotte family anyway. Certain things are going to go to hell. Capone's like listing the biggest threats when it comes to like the commanders and the Charlotte family members. We see Perospero. We see Commander Katakuri. Of course, he's going to be the main threat. He's going to be the biggest threat, considering the fact not only is his observation hockey so much through the roof, he can see into the future. So, and he can lip read into the future, I'm pretty sure. And that's another thing too. It's like, once Big Mom opens that National Treasure Box, don't you think that Dr. Charlotte could actually predict what's going to happen and prevent it? I don't know. It's like, unless he doesn't see it, but that again, that's highly unlikely. It's like, unless he's fighting with somebody, that'll work. I still think it's going to be EGG out the entire group on Whole Cake Island. those are the most two unknown we don't know much about when it comes to combat abilities. So I think that'd be epic as hell. And then we see, and speaking of commanders, we see Smoothie just literally juicing another girl. I don't know what is it about the obsession with juicing girls. I don't think she's juiced a male yet, and technically she juiced a giraffe, but it was a half girl as well. So it's like, and when we first got introduced to her, she was also juicing a girl. So it's like, what is your obsession? And that just adds to the point. That if somebody's gonna fight her, it has to be a girl, and it's probably gonna be Reiju. I said it in my discussion, and I'll say it again. She may be as much as I want Nami to. Reiju is probably a better match for Commander Smoothie. Don't get me wrong, I want to see Reiju fuck up Pudding for shooting her, but I think that's going to be reserved for Nami because she's been built to have that one-on-one fight for this entire arc. So I think, and Nami, that'll be a perfect match as well because one, she's trying to kill Sanji, so you mess with a Nakama, you mess with another. So that's just another thing to take in consideration as well. So, but it's just little bits here and there that just prove this plan is going to go to all hell, and we need to prepare for it. And more specifically, another problem with this chapter is the attitude and the mindset of Sanji, because he's constantly battling with himself not to fall deeply for Pudding, which is the problem in the first place. And it's not working because we see him talking for the first time since before. Reiju was talking to Pudding, so this is the first time they've interacted since Sanji discovered what Pudding's true intentions were. And not only that, it's like Sanji's like, I know she's trying to kill me, but I can't help myself. It's like, and I have to, I will agree with that. Sanji, she does look good in that wedding dress, but it's like, come on, bro, you know she's gonna kill you the moment you're married, and he's kind of like, listen, when we kiss, can we kiss can I kiss you on the forehead? And she's like, no, silly. She's completely being seductive. She's like, no, silly, we've got a kiss on the mouth. And it's like, Sanji's getting a nosebleed, and Pudding is getting pissed because he's like, oh, this pervert, I want to kill him right now. So for those who think that Pudding is going to hold back and not suit Sanji, think again. It's like, much like Sanji, this bitch can't help herself. She has to. It's amazing how much much alike they really are when it comes to personality traits. Even though they're completely different, they're morally different. Sanji's just real nice, and Pudding is just evil by nature. It's like, but both have trouble keeping in their inner selves. Sanji's this perviness, and with Charlotte, Pudding is with wicked ways, and she's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I guess technically Sanji is as well. So I think that's the only connection they have right now, and it would be a nice pairing by the end. But it's like right now I don't see it. It's like there's one too many changes in this arc anyway. So we'll have to wait and see. So there's that too, and it's like Capone just said it by the end of the chapter. Sanji's getting way too into this role, and it's like, yeah, you notice too. It's like, yeah, certain things are going to make this plan is going to go horribly wrong, and it just depends on how it goes wrong. Whether it's Dr. Charlotte or whether it's something else just goofing up, because that's going to be one of the two that happen. So there's that taken into consideration. But the biggest part of the chapter that I thought was the technical reveal of Mother Caramel. Now, the only thing to note to that is that she has the same lipstick and the same lip style as Big Mom, so she has a connection with Big Mom. We just don't get to find out what it is, because actually one of the guests had the balls to ask Big Mom, hey, this Caramel, how is she connected to you in any way? How is she related to you? And Big Mom doesn't say, because she gets super pissed off to the point where she just straight up take this dude's soul out of his mouth like some Exorcist shit. And that's that. He's done. It's like Big Mom isn't playing for shits and giggles. So whatever the connection is with Big Mom, it has to be important. But I don't think it's going to be. It's easy to say, oh, that's the mother of Big Mom. No, because if it were, I'm pretty sure Big Mom would not have a problem saying that. It's like it I guess Big Mom may not remember, or because it's funny because the daughters don't remember, because we heard Chiffon say we don't know how important she is to Big Mom really. All we know she has that much of a hold on Big Mom to the point where she gets emotionally attached. Because she was like, oh, at least she's smiling today. It's like, really? So I'm still not. It could be Barney. I'm under the impression because remember she can manipulate her age. But it's like at the same time, it's like, and not only that, the fact that she's not even on Whole Cake Island too. That's another thing to take into consideration as well. So it would be cool if it were Bonnie, and but at this point, I don't know. It's like we don't really get a lot of answers. So I'm assuming we'll get to find that out before the end of the arc, if not sooner. But other than that, this was just a straightforward setup. It's like the wedding between Pudding and Sanji is about to begin. Literally, it's about to begin. So after all this time, after all this build-up, we're gonna get the wedding. So we just have to wait 2 weeks for it. So Oda is on his game. He usually is when it comes to this. So I can't wait to see what happens next. Whether or not and how this planet components goes to hell. And like I said, we see him and Caesar talking outside about the plan. We see this live. We see the live door that's alive. I guess we see the door that's alive, listening into the conversation, and Capone immediately asks the door. So it's like, but I'm pretty sure those imminent objects have a connection to Big Mom in some way, shape, or form. That may be another thing too. Big Mom may get word that the assassination plot, but then again, it's like Big Mom is still under the impression, I think, that Luffy and Nami are still in prison, and we know they're not. So it's like, what's going to happen? It's like, is the plan really going to bust up, or is Big Mom going to get too overconfident for her own good and let her guard down? So we'll have to wait and see. But the wedding is about to begin. Sanji's not going to get married. We know this because Pudding got some evil intentions in mind. So we'll have to wait and see what plays out. So I can't wait for that. The hype is going to be real. So that's it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up. Again, be sure to check out my discussion about the possible character deaths by the end of Whole Cake Island, as well as possible matchups when it comes to Ichigo versus Katakuri and Commander Smoothie versus Reiju. I still think that's a possibility at this point, but we'll have to wait and see. So that's it from me again. If you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up again. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more One Piece, and I'll catch you guys.